All right, so good afternoon, everyone. This is our student assembly for the first term of 2022-2023. So I know the break is less than 1 week, not ideal for everyone, but hopefully we are all rearing for that a more elongated break this coming December until January. All right, so before we start, I would like to ask everyone to join us in our Lasalan prayer. Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of the Lord. Lord, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather today. Hopefully, we can clarify um, some of the things that are still bothering us as we start our term. And all wish everyone good luck for this coming term or for this coming school year for that matter. In this we pray. I will continue, oh my God, to do all my actions for the love of you. Saint John Baptist de la Salle,
Pray for us.
Saint Benilde Romanson,
Pray for us
For
keep
us.
Jesus in our hearts.
forever.
Forever.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. Last term, Sir Ben Quizon was our OIC program chair for our architecture program. So for this term, I will be resuming the position. So I'm Architect Harvey Vasquez. For those that don't know me yet, I am the program chair for architecture. These are my contact details if you have concerns or questions. So we have a bit of change in our track coordinators, as we did have some of our mentors, in particular the FTF rank, in service. These are much needed leave for our mentors to also protect them mentally, as well as to keep them fresh for what's ahead. So for this term, we'd still have Sir Jim Calmeron as our CTV track. So for those that don't know, CTV covers ArcDes 1 to 3, as well as ADESPRIN and ArcKint. And then History, Theory, and Criticism track, Sir Walter Ocampo is currently on service leave. So Sir Matthew Chua will be covering for him for this particular track. So History and Criticism covers history of architecture, architectural philosophy, isa pa, theory of architecture. So those are the subjects that are covered by history of architecture. And then of course, visual communication, Sir Janil Arlegui. We do have a few ARCAD 2 subjects that are currently limited face-to-face. And then ARVCOM 1 to 5 subjects are also covered in the visual communications track. The next track is technical design. Not much, no change here. It's still Sir Noel Nicolas. Technical track covers ArcDes 5 to ArcDes 8. And then thesis track, si Miss MC Tubera, we had our thesis forum last Wednesday. For the planning track, Miss Angie Ramos will be our track coordinator for this term. And then for the professional practice track, it would still be Miss Erica Dia. She is also our OGT coordinator. For the building science track, Sir Dave will resume his position. This was managed heroically by Sir Larry Carandang last term. Sir Larry is currently in service leave for this term. And then for the second time, for the second term, consecutive term, Miss Kalin Magsino, Engineer Kalin Magsino is covering for Diego Calixto. Yeah. So these are the new roster for our academic advisors. So as I mentioned, those that are on leave for this term are Sir Ven Quizon, Sir Walter Ocampo, and Sir Larry Carandang. So Sir Dave will be resuming his duties as ACAD advisor for 120 B to Z. And then Sir Matthew Chua will be covering for Sir Walter Ocampo. And then of course, it would still be the same with Sir Noel and Miss Erica. Please take note of their schedules. I would also be sending the schedules to RO when they request it for you to check out in our SIS. So if you are not familiar with who your ACAD advisors are, you can actually check in SIS, and then you can also see their respective schedules in SIS. We will have new sets of ACAD advisors after the late enrollment period. So yung mga previous ACAD advisors pa din, yung naka-assign sa atin. So after late enrollment, this would be the new lineup. And then for the new mentors, some of them are not here unfortunately, but for some that are here, I want to hear sana if you guys are here, just a quick intro. We have 5 new mentors, as 6 new mentors for this term. Sir Edgar Chavez, Coronado, Philip, he's also an alumni in our program. Dimayuga Richard is also an alumni in our program. And then Endaya Kenneth from the engineering track. Santos Joanne Camille and Sarmiento Anthony Demin. So, sino yung mga bago na here present in our meeting? Baka you guys can say hi. Kanina I saw Richard.
Hi everyone.
Sino yung nagsalita? Hi Richard, can you naka-mute ka pa? Richard.
Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, nag-site ako today eh. Nasa site ako ngayon. Hello. I'm teaching ADA Sprint Discernment ARVCOM. May ARVCOM kami mamaya. So, students ko, see you guys later.
All right.
Don't worry, babalik ako sa room ko no after site. So, may class tayo mamaya. Okay, mag-alala.
Kala nila free pass kasi nasa site ka. All right, thank you Richard.
Yes, sir.
Yan. So Richard and Jiro are 2 of our new mentors na was part of our program before. So it keeps our program rich. Tapos syempre, of course, it's great to have former students as your colleagues now. Richard is also part of our newly established chapter in Benilde. So hopefully, kayo din when you graduate, when you become an architect, ganun din, so that we can have we can continue this community. All right, and then we also have a few returnees. So we have 6 new mentors, and then we have 8 returnees. So Carlo Agasa is returning, Miss Nia Bumagat is returning, Miss Eunice Valerie Lim, si Kim Olympia, Sir Mark Patulot, Cesar Ramirez, and Sir Reginald Yangson. But Sir Reginald is more on assigned in industrial design. Interior design pala, sorry. Yan, so medyo nag-expand yung community natin for this term because of course meron tayong 3 service leave. At the same time, we had a surge of new frosh this term. So medyo we had to reinforce our teaching ranks. So may mga frosh ba dito this afternoon? We'll have a separate assembly frosh. Pero if you're here, some of this might be foreign sa inyo. I'll have the same talk in your own frosh assembly come 16th of this month. So sana attend rin kayo doon. So thank you for attending the General Assembly. So usually kasi we have a General Assembly for the general population, and then we also have a orientation for frosh every first term. So pinaghihiwalay natin yan kasi there are specific questions from frosh, and then there is a specific presentation then for frosh. So medyo what we're discussing now medyo foreign sa inyo yung iba. So I'll give a more in-depth discussion siguro. That would be next Friday. C break then 1 to 3. Okay. So just a quick reminders lang, we still are required to comply with the institutional waiver requirements. So we've already instructed your mentors to create a Dropbox for this, and then students are to sign with the parents, notarized, and then upload in the Dropbox. So usually we create at least the third week of the term as the deadline for the institutional waivers. Institutional waivers are required for subjects that have drafting, scale model, and in cases of PE. So pag online pa din yung PE natin, we are required to submit the waiver. So just like other terms, the waiver can be accomplished per term. Tapos lahat ng subject you can apply in a waiver. Tapos you'll just submit them. You can just submit multiple copies na lang every subject. So if you feel like you don't have access to notarization, we do have online notaries that we can avail. So medyo sanay na dapat kayo nito kasi we've been doing the institutional waiver since the start of the pandemic. Okay? So it's required, and hopefully it's something that we don't use. Okay? So this is an example of the waiver. You put your name, course code. Pag sinabing course code, hindi BS architecture ha. Course code is the subject, Sprint, ARVCOM 4, pagsabay-sabayin na natin. And then when you create the course code, try to also mention the section. So kumbaga kung Sprint / na lang, tapos yung section, Sprint / section, para klaro. And then you can have multiple subjects in this header. Tapos piliin nyo lang first term. Tapos ito magiging 2022, 2023. Okay? So hopefully klaro, and then if you have questions, mamaya we can take on your questions in the open forum. So ganun pa rin, this is just a reminder of our format. So 14-week yung week format natin, 7 synchronous or 50% yung minimum. So in some cases our mentors require more than 50%, so that could be arranged internally with our students. Hopefully in the next few terms medyo magbalik na tayo sa campus. Mas marami nang i-offer na face-to-face classes, but I do believe na it will be more efficient if some of the lectures can still be delivered online. So yung mga ano na lang ang gawin nating face-to-face, yung mga laboratories natin like ArcDes, ARVCOM, HistArt, TOArt. So yung mga yung mga pure lecture, I think that could be delivered online for a more efficient use of our time. Tapos, total sanay na rin naman tayo. So hopefully that's our direction for the next few terms. So ito would only apply na for lecture classes. Latch is still an ongoing process. We've had much success last term and in last few terms. Students have been more open and more honest in their evaluations for Latch. So hopefully the mentors and even the program is doing a satisfactory or outstanding job in the implementation of the online delivery. Now we're all satisfied with our delivery. So satisfied naman, satisfactory naman yung last few evaluations natin. So we believe na the program is doing well in terms of how we were able to deliver, of course, given the limitations of our delivery. So hopefully yung limitations na yun will slowly go back to normal. Wala na tayong babalikan na old normal, but it would be a better normal that we will come back to, a more hybrid approach to teaching para we still have more time, or we would have more time doing our laboratory work. So yun yung tinitingnan nating direction for our program. But Latch is has become an important aspect in our facilitation of this online delivery, as it gives us valuable feedback from our students. So please, Latch na po, try to take it seriously in terms of your evaluation. So seryosohin po natin and give honest feedback for our mentors, kasi this is important for us as a program, as a whole, para we can constantly improve. So C-break, ganun pa rin, 11:20 to 2:20 p.m. So we usually have our events during this break kasi lahat tayo ay free during this time slot every Friday. So we do have a few events that are lined up for this term. So hopefully you can keep your calendars clean during this time slot para you can attend. Sana may mga face-to-face na, but what we can promise is yung mga online events natin, webinars, would still be within this time slot. Recently, there was an announcement from CLR that we are now allowed to access our learning facilities in SDA, in DAC pala. So pwede na tayong pumunta ng library. So we can now reserve a seat as an individual in our library. So this is the link for you to go to. You just have to reserve a seat from Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. Be specific on the time kasi 15 minutes wala pa rin kayo, your reservation will be void. So kailangan dumating tayo on time. And then this is for individual reservations. For higher arc desks, mentors, theses, we have also started opening up this option for face-to-face consultation through CLR din. So we can also reserve consultation rooms. I think some of our mentors already started with this, provided that they apply in advance. So pag face-to-face consultation and as a group through the mentors, dadaan sa program chair kasi we'll have to endorse this to GASO for clearance. So what do we need? The mentor has to apply for a short form. It's an internal form for safety. And then the students, they have to submit their vaccination card. So maganda nito if your section is interested in this kind of setup, beginning of the term siguro a representative can be tasked to collect all the vaccination cards for the section para whenever you apply for access, isang link na lang yung gagamitin. So paulit-ulit na lang. So maybe that could be something that you guys could explore. Another thing that we added for our services when the pandemic started is the Benilde Hub. So when this was opened, I got a lot of tickets from our students asking questions. So nakakarating naman sa akin. Ngayon medyo konti na lang, siguro medyo gamay na nila. But for the new students, if you have questions and you are not sure who to send it to, this facility is actually good in terms of narrowing down who you need to talk to. Para pag hindi kayo sigurado, it's good to ask the Benilde Hub, and then they do a great job in identifying who would be the best administrator to answer your question. So nakakarating yan in specific mentors or administrator depending on your question. So this is a facility that I think we all should maximize as students, especially ngayon na we're still in the pandemic era, and hopefully magbago na, but until then, these are the facilities that can be useful for all of us. We also established our YouTube channel. So this recording after this event, we usually upload this in our YouTube para doon sa mga hindi naka-attend, will be able to watch the videos. Currently we are almost 800 students. Malaki na rin ang population natin. So we know that even if it's a sea break, a lot of us cannot attend every event due to other personal reasons. So we try our best to make the assemblies accessible through our YouTube page. So sana if you can subscribe, and if you can share para the page can expand. Currently we also started uploading student works, exceptional student works per term. So we have them uploaded in our YouTube channel para if you have if you want to get ideas in terms of gusto ko mag-archer next term or gusto ko mag-specs next term, so you can see projects that the mentors implement for our specialization class. Also some of our previous videos from our pre-pandemic content activities are also uploaded in our YouTube page. So hindi na lang yan 18 subscribers, nasa 100 naman yan kahit papaano. We also started our microsite. This was started last second term of last year, last academic year, and we're slowly building it up. We have a major content update. So if you are I'll post the link in our chat sa ating YouTube page and then also our microsite. So we did a rebranding last academic year. So we are just getting the proper permission, but we will share that rebranding in terms of our logo, in terms of our program specification to the community pag ano na tayo, pag na-approve na yung ano natin, yung rebranding natin. So hopefully this microsite, we are planning to constantly update this through our capstone projects, projects for activities from SAGA or our org. They also have a page, a drop-down menu of their own in the microsite. So I'll be updating na the new sets of officers will be reflected in our microsite. So this is a good help for us. If you are a thesis student and then you want to take a look at some of the capstones na we previously did. So there is a page for capstones here in this website para makita ninyo yung range of topics that some of the thesis proponents do every term. So makikita ninyo yung mga iba-ibang klaseng thesis topics. Makikita nyo rin yung thesis topics nila Sir Gab Brioso when they were studying. So hopefully si Richard tsaka si Jiro will be able to share their capstone para mailagay din natin sa microsite natin for posterity. We also have our Facebook group. We're trying to slowly veer away from using the platform for our academic purposes, but there are still emergency times wherein we need to upload or invite our students through this channel. So kahit we're trying to use Big Sky more, there is still a function para sa ating Benilde Architecture Facebook group. This is a private group. So dun sa mga hindi pa na nagiging part ng group na to, you can add yourself. Medyo answer lang yung questions because we try to filter the members. If you're not really a member of the community, hindi natin ina-add rito. So hopefully we're creating this as a safe space. So parang if you guys want to be a member or should be a member here, please answer the questions for the invites kasi I do decline some of the requests na walang answers dun sa question. Hindi nakalagay kung ano yung student number. So I wouldn't know. Kasi minsan may mga na-add kami nag-spam lang dun sa group. So it's better to protect although we're trying our best not to include sensitive materials like our academic records here, but this still serves a purpose. So please, if you are still not a member of this private group, please do so. Ayan, wala pa ako nung bagong lineup. We're still updating in our microsite. So I think this is a good chance also to take a break and then pass it on to SAGA to introduce their new Execom committee for academic year 2022-2023, of course, starting with Justin. Justin, do you have a screen to share or
Opo sir. Wait.
sige, your co-host ka naman no? Para lang we can intro SAGA, what they do, who are the new sets of officers. Takbuhan yan, SAGA. Takbuhan ng mga nalilito, nagpapanik na estudyante, lalo na ngayong enrollment and pag matatapos na yung finals, final grade submissions. Wala pang screen share, Justin.
Okay na po ba?
Yeah, nakikita na
Ayan,
natin.
okay. So, good afternoon everyone. We are the new SAGA Execom team. Woohoo! So, what is SAGA? SAGA is the Social and Academic Guild for Architecture. It is a professional collegiate organization founded for the purpose of research, unification, augmentation, appreciation, and of course, academic development of the art and science of architecture. This organization has been established to provide and cater to the needs and interests of students from the architecture program of the De La Salle College of St. Benilde. The organization aims to create and establish an academic community wherein members can share, learn, and develop as individuals and with a passion and excellence for architecture through academic activities in the field. So guys, we will now officially introduce ourselves, each of us. So that's me. Hello guys, I am the president. You can call me Justin. Yeah. So introduction lang, bilis lang to. So we have our next one, our secretariat, Caris. Can you say hi na lang for everyone out there?
Hello, I'm
Kaway ka na.
Caris.
And so that's Kirby's our secretariat. Hello, hello. So now we have VP Internals, Mark. I think mabagal internet niya ngayon. Ayun, okay na. Hi ka na lang, Mira.
Hello, I'm here. Yeah.
Ayan, hello, hello.
Everyone.
Ayan. And then we have VP Externals for Intra-School Affairs. We have Reg.
Hello.
Ayan, hello, Reg. Ayan. Then following that, we have another VP Externals for Inter-School Affairs naman. We have Sophie. Sophie, Sophie, medyo bago natin internet niya. Sige. Diyan naman siya. Ayan. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Okay, following we have VP Finance, Angge. I think Angge is not here. Is Angge here? Wala ata. Pero yeah, that's our VP Finance. And then we have our auditor, Ritz.
Hi guys, I'm Ritz.
And our very own Ritz. And then we have VP Publicity, Kiara.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. And then we have Lodge, si Daph. Daph can't join us today. Meron siyang check-up ata. So ayan, kawain lang kayo sa PowerPoint. Ayan. And then we have Creatives, si Kirby.
Hello.
Ayan.
Thank you sa
say hi,
poster, Kirby.
No censor, no? And then we have our very own last term, wala actually kaming document. So bago to, very cool. So, Albert, say hi naman.
Hi guys. I'm Albert and I'll be your documentations head for the year.
Yan. All right. And that's about it for our committee. Thank you, everyone. This is Saga once again. Yeah, so if you guys have any concerns about like batchmate, like academics related, besides BenArch, we're glad to hear you out. And then we'll voice your concerns to Sir Harvey and the rest of the BenArch staff. So yeah. Or kahit man akads lang yan or kailangan nyo ng tulong, we're glad to help you guys out. Yeah, so thank you, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Justin. I know there are representatives per batch, tama? So,
Apo.
actually a crucial function also for SAGA, guiding everyone. So, there are sometimes kasi there are batch specific questions na so that we don't receive redundant inquiries, isang channel so that we can compile and sometimes we can answer na lang before kasi some of the questions are really simple and some students are just may halong panic lang, so siguro kinakabahan. So SAGA is always ready to answer those inquiry. When is your Justin, your recruitment again for when is their schedule para ma-announce na rin natin?
That's the thing po. Wala po kasing release for SI week. Kaya di rin na kami po sure when exact date. Pero siguro by October.
By October. It's usually in the
Yes
first
po.
term naman, di ba?
Apo.
All right. So if you guys are interested in joining, I hope you do kasi SAGA is our only official architecture student org. So it would make our stay in Benilde much more enjoyable kasi of course we're in the company of our peers, tapos we also have a mix of events na program led, we also have events na SAGA led, and we also have programs that are in collaboration with SAGA and Benilde Architecture. So para we can still achieve that balance of community, academics, and sometimes personal time na rin so that we can know our community. So SAGA is also helping us with our next event, which is the campus tour, face-to-face campus tour this coming September 23. This is for batch 120 and 121, specific sa 120, 121 kasi medyo kawawa naman sila, hindi pa nila nakikita yung campus. So SAGA is also helping us in that end. So if you guys are interested in attending yung campus tour natin for 120-121, please coordinate with your batch representatives from SAGA. Sila yung nag-arrange ng mga requirements natin. So katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, the requirements are vaccination card, and of course we will be submitting a short form separately. Okay, so mabilis lang tayo. Hindi pa tayo umabot ng 40 minutes. We're done with the presentation kasi these are things that we always discuss naman, and these are things na we just need to remind the general community lang. So now we will proceed with questions. Before our event, we do put out a inquiry form for some of our students. Siguro medyo mabilis yung break ngayon na some of them are still enrolling, so hindi nila na asikaso, but hopefully meron sa atin dito na magtatanong, and we'll try our best to answer the questions. So I think Justin, we can start with the first few questions doon sa ano, and then I think that could hopefully get the ball rolling for some of the other questions.
Sige po, sir. The first question is, what are the courses with the possibility to be held face-to-face next term?
Okay, so I think I mentioned this a while ago I hinted on this, but just to give you a context, this term, dalawa lang yung subject na in-apply natin. And it's not because that's what we want, but we were also monitoring the development and also the protocols from IATF. So last time kasi, they were also requiring us to submit insurance for some of our students. So may insurance. Kapag minor, you can be sponsored by your parents, pero kapag more of legal age na, you have to get your own. So this insurance actually brings added complexity for our students, and from our experience in other programs that offered face-to-face last third term, marami yung mga estudyante na nag-enlist tapos during enrollment nag-drop. So it's hard in terms of planning, and ang hirap pa naman kapag you're preparing for face-to-face tapos biglang walang estudyante. So when we saw that situation, our program were actually more careful in terms of when we offered. So that's why we only offered 2 subjects to get the feel of it. Pero I think right now, hopefully wala namang maging problema, knock on wood. But the first 2 weeks, there were already meetings from Apprentice and ARCAD 2 na hopefully issue free. So for next term, we're planning to offer more subjects, in particular yung mga higher ArcDes. We do have a lot of ArcDes 5, ArcDes 6, 7, and 8 next term. And then sana for ArcDes 9 or 10, we'll have face-to-face terminal defense. So yun yung mga tinitignan natin. Sana, kung kaya na natin next term. Pero what we're sure is, we will be offering ArcDes hopefully next term na face-to-face na. And then ganun pa rin, yung mga laboratories natin for ARFCOM, ARCAD, we will be offering them limited face-to-face pa din. For other lecture subjects from PROPRA, Planning, HTC, tsaka CTV, medyo hindi pa siguro this coming term. So we will revisit this on the third term. Pero ito naman, yung sinasabi ko ngayon, hindi pa ito final, of course. Things can still change for the worse or for the better, hindi pa natin alam. But this is something na as of now, that is what we are planning to offer. So expect din na, of course, more than 2, definitely. next term. We will be trying to siguro more than 50% of our offerings will be face-to-face na come next term, hopefully.
Okay, next question na po. So, our next question is, for consistent dean's listers, will there still be a recognition? When will BenArch require F2F modality as the main code for ID 120? Madami ito actually. So, umpisa na natin with the first one. For consistent dean's lister, will there still be a recognition?
For the recognition, starting this term kasi we also became part of a new school, yung School of Environment and Design. So previously SDA was made up of multiple programs na we have outgrown that kind of setup. So starting this term, we created 3 schools. So BACC, NMC, and SED. So for us, yung program na yon would be led by the school. So I think there are plans pero I'm not sure kasi that's not within our control. But hopefully we can do that. Some that were able to miss out on face-to-face graduations, I know there was a call from RO to register so that yung mga nag-graduate this past few terms can finally graduate face-to-face at PICC. There is already a choice for that. So definitely, yung graduation natin face-to-face na. We started last third term. Yung mga nakagraduate ng second term, ng third term, face-to-face na yung graduation nila. So we will have another this coming October, face-to-face na. So, but for the recognition, yung ginagawa natin sa theater, sa 5th floor, that is something na we will finalize. Pero I think, I'm positive na it can happen naman for this term.
Okay, thank you po. So the next one, when will BenArch require F2F mode okay, I think you answered this now, yung F2F modality as the main mode for ID 120. And then the next one is, will online still be an option for students living outside and far from NCR by that time during the required F2F modality na po?
For us, if you ask us and the program, for important subjects like ArcDes and other lab subjects, kailangan na natin ito gawing face-to-face. But like I said, some of our lecture subjects can still be delivered online. So moving forward, wala na pong magiging full online or full face-to-face. It would be a combination of online and face-to-face. But to answer your question, you cannot graduate naman ng full online kasi that would be you will not be getting the full experience. Especially for ArcDes, namimiss na namin paggawa ng scale model, di ba? So that's something that it's difficult if you're online. We know that there are a lot of advantages for online, but we also view it in the larger context na there are disadvantages din talaga. So our main goal is to create a better normal by creating a combination of online and face-to-face. Of course, face-to-face, we will prioritize yung mga laboratory subjects and architectural subjects for face-to-face, and then pure online for lecture subjects.
Sige po, thank you. The next one is, ito naman, it's about comments and feedback. Pero naging tanong siya. So why are there students who don't meet the requirement for specs classes? Like being in Architect 6, able to get those classes? Okay. So basically, tanong niya is, yun. Why are there students who don't meet the requirements for specs?
We do flag them And if you are able, if you're a student and you're able to circumvent yung requirements for specs, in the end, you would have an issue din kasi it's in your record na kung ano yung nauna. So that's something that you also have to be wary of. As a student, it's actually your responsibility to ensure na you follow the flow chart. Kasi kung hindi, sa'yo din kasi babalik yun. It's not the responsibility of the ACAD advisor kasi at its word, they're just advising you. The students are still the ones enlisting the subject. So kapag may mga flowchart violation, it's the students' responsibility. So kung may nakalusot, of course, a lot of our advisors also handle a lot of students. So sometimes may nakakalusot, pero may mababalikan natin yan when you graduate, ma-flag din kayo dyan. So be careful kasi uulitin nyo rin yan in the end. Okay? So be mindful of the flowchart violation. So hindi porket nakalusot ka, haha, nakalusot ako. Diba? Because in the end, the records, which is also not under our program, will actually be the one to check and flag you for your violation. So as a student, responsibility nyo yan. So ang niloloko nyo lang yung sarili ninyo when you do those violations. And may ano yan, may repercussions. So wag nyo isipin na walang repercussions yan.
Sige, thank you po, sir. Ito po. Are there academic advisors ignoring what needs to be considered prior to approving their entitled courses?
What's that?
Are there academic advisors ignoring what needs to be considered prior to approving their enlisted courses?
Okay, ganito yan. For academic advisors, gaya ng sabi ko, they're also handling at least 150 students per academic advisors. Kaya medyo lima yung academic advisors natin. So as a student, when you have clarifications, questions, or request for accommodation or request for approval, when you write a letter or approach your academic advisor, be as detailed as possible. Kasi kahit ako yung academic advisor, if hindi detalyado at hindi kompleto yung detalye ng estudyante, I wouldn't prioritize that. Diba? I would prioritize yung mga naiintindihan ko and yung mga students na has clearly stated what they want and what they need and what they are thinking of getting and is clear on other options. Kung hindi ito pwede, sir, kapag conflict, pwede pong ito. It's better for us if you come up with a more detailed context. Kasi sabi ko nga, ang daming hawak ng mga yan. So you can't expect them to know your situation when you submit, when you file in your request. So be as detailed as possible. Kasi I've also encountered some students na hindi nilalagay yung student number. 'Di ba? So courtesy lang 'yon. Tapos when you do get your request fulfilled, sana mag-thank you naman tayo sa mga ACAD advisors natin. I know that's their job, but as students, we also have to have that courtesy kasi we're all trying to make ends meet. We're trying to work here. At the same time, para din alam ng ACAD advisor kung okay naman yung ano, kung okay na yung ginawa natin for you. Kumbaga kung na-comply naman. So alam nila na natapos na nila, yun, hindi na nila babalikan. Okay? So give them a heads up na, sir, okay na po yung yung enlistment. Thank you po. 'Di ba? May mga nag-email din kasi wala nang subject, wala nang detail ng estudyante kung sino. Ang identification lang namin is yung email address, tapos ang nakalagay lang subject. Wala pang section. So parang anong ibig sabihin nito? 'Di ba? So you also have to learn na to how to communicate through online email kasi this is the type of communication moving forward kahit sa trabaho. A lot of our new graduates right now work from home. So they only work 2 times a week. ng face-to-face, tapos the rest of the week work from home sila. So they communicate through online chat or email. And then formal ang usapan, pang trabaho. So I think it's high time for us to adapt yung ganong mode, kasi ito na yung ito na yung reality eh. This is what we're gonna face when you go out in of our program, that we will be dealing with communication through this online emailing system. So maging maging aware tayo and try to give more effort din, 'di ba? So isipin niyo, ba't kaya hindi ako pinansin nung ACAD advisor ko? Tapos pag tinignan mo yung email mo, wala palang subject, wala palang context. Yung pinili mo pa palang section in conflict. Hindi mo man lang chinek sa SIS kung ano yung hindi conflict sa subject mo. Tapos magtataka ka ba't hindi ka ini-entertain. Diba? So, sa dami ng ginagawa nila, make it easier for them para hindi sila magkaroon para hindi sila mahirapan at masagot agad nila tayo.
Okay, thank you po, sir. So maraming nag-PM na ngayon.
Ng SAGA. Wow.
So
Talagang
basahin na lang natin.
effective naman yung natin, yung
Marami na.
shout out natin or yung plug natin for SAGA.
Opo. So the question was, do all lab courses have F2F classes?
Um,
And is there a choice that we can take it online?
Sige, ito. Magandang question yun. We started with offering our lab courses ng face-to-face for this term. Medyo nagkaroon ng misunderstanding. Right now, when you want, for example, ARCAD, we have face-to-face sections and we have full online sections. So what's the difference? So how we created the difference is that kapag full online, ARCAD 0, ARCAD 2.0 yung kasi parang ARCAD online. So pag ARCAD 2 yung kinuha mo, face-to-face yun. So some students were actually confused. Ang pinili nila ARCAD 2, gusto pala nila online. Meron naman pumili ng ARCAD 20, gusto pala nila face-to-face. So moving forward, siguro it's also the fault of our program na hindi natin na-mention na that's what we're trying to do to streamline din, kasi we are slowly revising the CFBU na pagdalagyan namin ng O, yun yung may online. Kapag yung ARCAD 2 yung parang merong subject na yung original title natin, that's for limited face-to-face. So that's the usual adoption. Kumbaga pag nakikita kayo ng course code na may na bago yung tingin, tapos may 0 or may O, yun yung online version. Tapos kung ano yung original na course code, yun yung face-to-face. Okay? So tandaan po natin yun. Those are the difference. So for this term, we offered ARCAD 0, ARCAD 2.0, and then ARCAD 2. So magkaiba. Yung ARCAD 2 is our limited face-to-face section, and then ARCAD 2.0 is our online, full online sections.
Okay. Thank you po, sir. Next question. You mentioned about the LCR. Pwede na pong gamitin to
CLR.
kahit wala
CLR
kang
na siya,
class. Oh,
Justin.
LCR? LRC?
CLR.
CLR, sorry.
Binaliktad na nila, hindi na
Nasanay
LRC.
masyado.
Ako rin nasanay din akong
Pasensya na
LRC,
agad.
pero CLR na siya.
CLR po. Ayun. For the CLR, diba, pwede na po mag-reserve. So, nagtanong po isa, can we enter the campus to create skill models and other projects?
Sa ngayon, wala pa tayong space para doon. Kasi sa CLR, hindi ka talaga pwede gumawa ng scale model. So, we usually do our scale model in the 14th floor hall. So, kasama yan sa project ng SAGA and Benilde Architecture. We will be redesigning our 14th floor to slowly accommodate din yung mga parang free cut natin for time para pwede tayong magpunta doon. It's easier for you to use those facilities kapag you enlisted yung mga face-to-face subjects. So hopefully by next term, meron na tayo ng mga subjects na yon, and then we will be able to unveil spaces na that you can do your projects in school or in campus. So that's what we're gonna work on for this term.
Sige po, sir. Thank you.
Ay, si
Ah,
Ms. Erica may
si
question.
Erica po.
Hi, Sir Harvey.
Yes, ma'am.
Regarding the model making in CLR, before kasi meron po noon, not only for RT but for other programs. Kaya lang, during that time, parang naging makalat yung area ngayon. Yung left side before sa lounge or doon sa information, doon dati gumagawa ng model students. Kaso, naging makalat yung students. So after that, parang restrict na nila kasi hindi maayos yung after. So kailangan every time nililinis nila pala. Kaya yun, nilimit na nila. So pinagbawal na yung paggawa ng models sa library. Pero I think parang part din naman ng nila is to help the students with that. So parang in a way ngayon, pinag-isipan nila kung paano magkakaroon ulit. Ayun. Kasi diba before kung sa Pusinis Vanessa sa CLR office. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Erica. Tama yun. Kasi dati, 8th floor, hindi ko alam kung inabot nyo pa yun. Yung 8th floor, yung commons, pwedeng gumawa ng scale model doon. Pero sobrang naging makalat tayo, pinagbawalan na. Generator dati din, pwedeng gumawa. Pero sa ngayon kasi sarado pa yung generator. So, sa 14th, kalimitan, tsaka sa 3rd floor, nakikita ko yung mga students natin, doon din gumagawa. So, slowly, bibigyan namin kayo ng facility for that. Kasi, that's what makes our program dynamic. Talaga pag architectural school, talagang makalat. Kasi kasama yun sa process natin. But we just have to make a defined space for everyone para at least safe environment. At the same time, it's easier for us to control.
Thank you po, sir. This one is about the campus tour. Someone's asking, are we excused from class if we have a morning session on September 23?
Pwede. You can actually tell your mentor. I'll also inform the faculty na meron tayong campus tour. Unfortunately, hindi kaya ng sea break lang kasi we will be accommodating 2 batches. So first batch is 1 to 0 will happen in the morning, 9 to 12. And then we will be hopefully joined by your ACAD advisors din para makita nyo na rin sila face-to-face, Sir Janine and Sir Dave. And then in the afternoon, 1 to 4 for 1-to-1. So we will be joined naman by Miss Erica, yung ACAD advisor ninyo. Para makita nyo naman si Miss Erica din ng face-to-face. So for the campus tour, it's more about just the general facilities. Of course, yung sa Archi, yung mga drafting rooms natin, 14th floor. And then when we still have time, we can go to sa mga theater, yung mga other shared spaces. So those are the things that we will be seeing during the campus tour. Para lang din you can somehow step in doon sa building natin. Those 2 batches are the ones na wala pang experience doon sa DAC, which is the new name for our SDA building.
Okay, thank you po, sir. I think that's about it for our question. Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Yun lang po.
So thank you. It's now 2:13. We're on time. Sorry, medyo OC ako sa time, but it's great to see everyone. So for documentation purposes, I'm just gonna stop recording siguro.